Hello, people, and welcome back to What If Deku Was a Mandalorian? Now, before we get started, sorry for that coughing. I started to cough as soon as I hit record. Apologies. And, some of you wanted me to go back to this. Even when I started doing a new What If as well, a lot of you wanted me to go back to this. Obviously, a lot of you loved The Mandalorian. I'm talking about the show, and I'm sort of doing this as well, with Deku being a Mandalorian. But I'm also gonna ask this as well. This is like a few minutes before I start. Do you guys want me to bring in a, Legends character? And you do sort of, he's not particularly Legends, but he's a legend in a lot of people's eyes. And that's how I'm going to leave it. So, yeah. If you guys want me to bring in the guy who I'm talking about, I will do. But if you don't, fair enough, I won't bring him in. But it's up to you guys if you want me to bring him in or not. And second of all, now that I've done the full and what if, I'm going to let that stew for a bit. I'm going to do this video now. Then I'm going to do another video. That's if I have enough time today, but I don't. Anyway. Where we last left off is, Izuku Midoriya holding up the dark saber in front of his people, saying to them, train him in the ways of the Mandoa. So they did. They taught him all sorts of things, hand-to-hand combat. They rigorously trained him. They taught him in blasters. They taught him in all manner of things. They even taught him the Arana Benhara, which is a Mandalorian death game, where people who often challenge an individual for either A, the right to lead, or somebody to destroy someone else's honour and kick them out of a clan, or destroy a clan, or whatever. And Idril, she admitted to Deku that she loved him in her own Mandalorian way. Because remember, she is a Mandalorian, along with Deku. And she also did leave a little peck on his cheek, if anybody remember it from part 11. So yes, Deku then, as he continues training, he also spends a lot more time away from Idril because of it. And she knows he's getting trained by all the other Mandalorians, the ones who have got more combat experience, the heads of state of their own clans. Hell, the rumours circulate that, they reach some very, very important ears. As, well, Deku finishes his one of his days of training and goes, well, into his personal room and sort of sits there. As well, he hears the door open as he just closes his eyes and says, "I know you're there, Idril. You don't have to hide from me. After all, you did say something important that I never got to ask." As Idril just walks through, letting the door shut behind her, then locking it. As she also says, "I don't need to know how you knew I was there. I'm just glad you know that I'm still around. After all, you've been training so hard, I thought you forgot who I was." Deku just says, "No, you have nothing to worry about, love. I haven't forgotten who you are. Matter of fact, I'm glad you're here. Could use somebody to talk to." And a smile sort of appears on Idril's face, saying, "About time." As she walks up to him and sits down next to him. A few hours pass, and Mandalorian unlocks the door and bursts through, saying, "Mandalore! Mandalore! Problems! Main hangar! Somebody has erected the Rana Binhara. On you, sir." Deku immediately stands up, grabbing Darksaber and saying, "Who?" As this Mandalorian says, puffing, it's Mandalorian, take off your helmet. Let me see your face." As the Mandalorian just says, "Yes, sir," as he takes off his helmet, revealing a battle-scarred and rather young but battle-scarred young man. As he says, It's Deathwatch, sir. Deathwatch has turned up." As Deku immediately runs, saying, "Come on then." As Idril stands and runs and says, "Come on, don't be a slouch." As they all run, as this young man just stands there and says, "Oh, good grief, I'm young and I feel like I'm 50 years old." As he, legs it after them. As Deku enters the hangar, there's a lot of open hostility already, including from the Death Watch, who stand there saying, "Where is your Mandalore? Where is this so-called chosen Mandalore? Where is this goof? Where is this fake Mandalorian?" There's a lot of them a lot of Mandalorians who are on Deku's side shout, "He is no fake. We have seen his power firsthand." As a Death Watch member says, "That's a load of Bantha dung. He can't be a Force user. It's impossible." As they hear, "What is going on in here?" And this is over the loudspeakers, because he can access them. As everybody turns around to look at Deku, Idril, and the Mandalorian that went to get him. still huffing and puffing. As they all bow, apart from Deathwatch, saying, Mandalore, the chosen. As Deku just walks up until he stands in front of Deathwatch. As he looks at him, saying, So you're Deathwatch. I should really I should really be part of you guys, considering what my, ancestors were. As one of them just shouts, We initiate the Arana Binhara. We will take the Darksaber, we will take these ships, we will ruin the day the Empire took Mandalore from us. We have been fighting them day in and day out. So you better give us all your ships. We got more in the way of experience than you. As well, Deku pulls out the Darksaber, activates it, then deactivates it, and passes over to Idril, saying, If you want the leadership, then I accept the Aranam Binhara. As they find a planet that is still under construction, as they find it saying Terrace, the world that's still under construction. After the Sith Empire and Old Republic still tried fighting over it, they destroyed it even more. Rebuilding efforts are still underway. It appears the Empire has started rebuilding it. So we gotta go somewhere quiet. The upper regions where an ice cap appeared to have been. It's nothing but dry land now, but hey. As they, leave and go there, they all stop at, the ice caps. They're not in the cruisers, because otherwise they would have alerted a lot of Imperials. As, Deku and the people that he has land and put everything down, along with Deathwatch. Now, the Deathwatch start with personal honours. And, Izuku finds multiple of their honours. One being the founding member of Deathwatch, which is Helmet, like the founder who made the Deathwatch itself. The first ever jetpack that the Mandalorians made. The hilt of a lightsaber from the first ever Jedi that they killed during the Mandalorian Wars. And the governor of the moon over Mandalore. His helmet as well. It goes to show how much they still honour him. Deku has, a few things laid out that to him are his personal honours. As the Deathwatch find one of these personal honours, They say, wait, is that a Jedi? Well, they actually do find a Jedi who's actually living on Terrace. Not gonna say who it is though. That's something you guys gotta work out. But let's say this: everybody thinks he's long dead, considering he got chucked out of a window with a lot of lightning from Emperor Wrinkles. Oh shit! That may have gave it away who it is. Never mind. A lot of you may not even get what I was talking about, because a lot of you may not even watch Star Wars. So hopefully, I'm safe. Well, the Death Watch still find the personal honours, and it's the Darksaber. Well, a fake Darksaber. The real Darksaber is with Idril. Izuku's not stupid enough to literally lay out the Darksaber in front of them. And considering Mandalorians are supposed to have honor, the Death Watch can't really destroy or take the Darksaber, because they have to win it. And Deku's put this down as a personal honor. Yeah, they're stuck. They can't they can't take it because it's against their laws. They have to win it to take it. As the Hollow opens up, and Idril says, just activates the Darksaber, saying, looking for this, and deactivates it again. And she just says, don't worry, it's a fake. It's just the fake hilt, so you guys could take it, so we could do this whole thing. Deku knew that you were going to get confused and hesitate severely, so he had a hollow hollow here, so I could tell you. Pick it up and take it. I got the real one in my hands, as you could see. As they take the fake hilt of the Darksaber. As Deku arrives with all their personal honours, and they arrive with all his personal honours, which is a picture of him and his mum, which is his personal honours, the helmet, the first helmet of an Imperial assassin, along with the blades, to honour the Imperial assassins who fought him. After the last guy had the Darksaber rammed through his back. And the fake hilt of a Darksaber. As they continue the Mandalorian death game, until Deku fought the leader of the Death Watch, which I'm going to still say this is before the Night Owls come along, which is Bo-Katan. As she says, on the ground, kneeling, because she's exhausted, you win, Mandalore. As she just bows her head in acknowledgement. As Deku goes down on one knee and says, lift your head, warrior. You are a strong individual. Never lower your head in defeat. Always raise it in expectations to one day beat the person who has beaten you. You're strong, prideful. Always remember that. As they get a transmission as yeah, the howitzer star destroyers that are in, well, in an asteroid belt report saying that there's an Imperial fleet heading your way. And apparently, it has another force user on it. From the communications they could pick up, it's something called an Inquisitor. The Grand Inquisitor, to be precise. As Deku says, alright, all Mandalorians, pack up your things. We're leaving. ASAP. I don't know anything about these Inquisitors. But if it's a fleet and it's the so-called Grand Inquisitor, I will not stand much of. I could stand a very good chance, but I don't want to push my luck. So we leave. We will continue making these Inquisitors and the Empire constantly chase us across the galaxy. And every time they think that they're close, we'll give them one hell of a beating. AKA, leaving. And we'll constantly be a thorn in their side until the entire Empire comes crashing down on us. We are Mandalorians, so we will give them one hell of a fight when they do catch us, finally. As they all pack up and head into the howitzers. As well, the howitzers go to start flying away as sorry guys, as 5 Star Destroyers drop out of hyperspace. As well, they get a message saying, Mandalorian ships, surrender at once, and your deaths will be merciful. No, and perhaps we will be merciful. It's one of the Mandalorians just snigger and say, yeah, right, merciful. That's what they did. That's what they call after what they did to Mandalore. That's what they call mercy. They attacked us unprovoked. Now they have the gall to say they'll show mercy. What's the plan, Mandalore? As Deku just stands there, takes off his helmet, and smirks, as the ships are actually all broadside. As Deku just holds up his hand and says, fire. Give him one bot volley and then jump to hyperspace. As well, both of the ships fire a lengthy broadside, then jump into hyperspace. As well, the Imperial ships all have to scatter to avoid getting hit. But unfortunately for one, it gets hit in 2 places. The bridge, well, 3 lasers hit the bridge, ripping the bridge to shreds, and a lot of them hit the neck and the very front. You know where those 3 stacks are? One on top of the other? Yeah. Some hit the neck of the bridge, others hit directly in front of it. So yeah, that is heavily damaged. The one holding the Inquisitor managed to turn quickly enough, so it only got away with minor damage. And the others, barely noticeable damage, just like carving scoring, and that's it. As Deku just sends a message to them saying, "You want us, Imperials? Come find us." as well. The Imperial ships jump as well. As everybody sort of cheers, saying that's one more Imperial ship down. As they go around planet to planet, destroying Imperial vessels, making quick strikes onto the planet that the Imperials are on to cause casualties there and destroy vital pieces, then getting on their ships and leaving again. Sorry. And then the Imperials send more ships, 20 at this point, as deku hides in another asteroid, and they find, surprise surprise, 2 howitzer star destroyers. And these 2 have got barely any Mandalorians on them. It's all civilians from Mandalore who managed to get away as well. And they've got a ton of Beskar on both ships. As Deku makes the Forgers, a group of Mandalorians who forge equipment for the warriors, and they make the armor. So they spent 5 months making armor for the Mandalorians out of pure Beskar. I'm just going to say Beskar can replicate itself. So you take a lot of Beskar out of the planet and it'll just grow it back. Trust me, it'll make a lot more sense. As well, the Mandalorians are fully fitted with their new Mandalorian armor, as the Mandalorian warriors trained men, women, and children on how to defend themselves and how to fight. So yeah, they've now got 4 howitzers. As they do that, Deku and Idril get much closer. Much, much closer. Gets to the point where a Mandalorian accidentally walked into Deku's personal chambers to talk to him and found him and Idril having him. Deku was asleep and so was Idril. But Idril was sleeping on his lap. Had her head on his lap. Her head on his lap and him also being asleep. As the Mandalorian quickly walked back out the door and shut it. And locked it, leaving a message on the side saying, "Do not enter, Mandalore's asleep." And that's not the first time that happens. Again, somebody else walks in, thinking that Deku was awake, but to find out that Idril and him are having a makeout session. As Idril screams saying, "Get the hell out." As this female Mandalorian quickly says, "Sorry ma'am," walks out the door and shuts it and locks it. As Idril just sighs saying, "Why can't I just have you to myself for 5 minutes?" As Deku just chuckles, saying, "Sometimes, love, you just can't." And she just turns around to walk away as he smacks her on the backside. And she just looks over to him, giving him the eyes, saying, "Really? You're going to do that to me?" And Deku just laughs, saying, "We better just go." You don't want people saying, "Oh, we've left the Mandalorians to do with our personal lives." As Idril just sighs, saying, "I know. Next time we visit your homeworld, can we actually like walk around on it for a bit? Like have some time to ourselves, let the Mandalorians unwind for a bit, explore, but give them very specific orders not to let those people on board. Because no offense to Deku or Mandalore, which should I call you? Mandalore, Idril. Mandalore in front of our people, but Deku when we're alone, when we're in private." As she bows, saying, "You got it, Mandalore." As she sort of winks at him and leaves. As Deku just chuckles, saying, Women. Women can be so strange sometimes." And she just says, "I heard that," and walks out. Eventually, when they find another planet, they have another scrap with the Imperials. And during the time, after they got the other two howitzers, they upgraded them as well, so they're packing more heat. So yeah, the Imperials are woefully unprepared for 4 howitzer Star Destroyers. And considering the new Imperial models should have a lot better range, they're getting torn to shreds by these 4 howitzers. And the battle for the planet, which is going to be a battle for Mindor, just because... No, not Mindor. Umbara. As the Mandalorians, well, unleash all of their fighter craft and landing craft. As the Mandalorians just simply open up the bay doors, as all the Mandalorians jump out with their jetpacks, flying right for the Imperial battle lines. But since the Imperials had time to set up their defences, they, well, take down quite a few Mandalorians. But every Mandalorian that dies, 45 Imperials go down with them. Because Mandalorians are badass, and those bucketheads can't hit the broadside of a barn. By the way, Captain Rex has joined the Rebels, for those who want to know. Now, during that battle, 20 Imperial ships turn up. As, well, everybody evacuates, but Idril. As it turns out, as soon as Deku lands on board his flagship, the Mandalorian's Revenge, he gets a message. And it's a message, and it's a voice he recognizes all too well. And as he shows himself on the holodeck, he shows he has a prisoner. As he says, well, as he just says this, chuckling. "If Mandalore the Chosen, that time I caught up with you again, you've been causing me and the Empire problems. Now, I'm gonna ask you this. Surrender now, and I'll let your people go. Come to the Chimera alone, and I will release the girl. She will be free to join the rest of her people, and I will leave me and my fleet. Well, me and my fleet will leave with only one prisoner, you. There are very important people who want to see you and have a talk. I'm asking this out of respect for you, Mandalore. The individual who wants to see you respects the Mandalorians very well. He has also read up on your histories and would like to have a duel with you, especially since he knows that you're a Force user. He thinks you might be good to have a sparring match with. So I'm asking you politely, but if not, aim at the cruisers with the most civilians on them. I'll be targeting the civilians to get your approval. Come to the Chimera. Surrender to us. Your people will be spared. Trust me, Mandalore. I am a man of my word. All ships now stand down, as they all do. Come, Mandalore. It's time for an answer. Don't bring your dark saber. Leave it there. I studied your movements, so I knew you'd be coming to Umbara. That's why I had the defenses so strong. It was all a delaying tactic. But please, come. As Deku says, I surrender. As everybody looks at him saying, Mandalore, you can't just surrender. We Mandalorians will fight and die. As Imperial just says, don't do it, Mandalore. I know who's on this ship. You faced him before. A man of... As she gets cut off by a stun blast, saying, as Grand Admiral Thrawn says, apologies. I should have had her muzzled, but I do respect the Mandalorians in a very significant way. You've earned my respect. And there's no hiding it now. But please, come over. As a dark figure appears, saying, we need to speak, Mandalore. Do not leave me waiting. I am no longer here to fight, but here to talk. So I ask you, as an equal, to obey the Empire's will and join us on the Chimera. No questions asked. And that's where I'm leaving it off, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Au revoir. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. See you all next time.